Today's math strategy video is understanding the coordinate plane. So here's our problem from our previous video lesson. So let's read through this one more time. It says the Scouts are making model vehicles. They have a choice of making a model plane or a model boat. The materials for the plane cost $2 and the materials for the boat cost $4. Write and graph ordered pairs to compare the cost of making one or more boats to the cost of making the same number of planes. Okay, now in the previous lesson, we had already filled out our ordered pairs here. We also talked about the patterns that we noticed here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we are going to transfer that to plotting these ordered pairs on our coordinate plane. Now, just know that a coordinate, actually, let me type this. Coordinate pair, so a coordinate pair has the word ordinate, and ordinate means number, and then co means together. So this would be a pair working together. So, and it also represents a location on the coordinate plane. Now, you should have already probably talked about the coordinate plane. So just think about that this is two number lines. One runs horizontal and one runs vertical, and they are perpendicular to each other. Now, we have this first ordered pair here, this 0, 0, and this is so important because this represents that if we made no planes and no boats, we would have $0. And that actually represents a point on the coordinate plane. It's called the origin. And it's kind of like a starting point. So, but that's not always where we're going to start. It won't always be a 0, 0, but that's kind of what I think about. So we have the origin here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these ordered pairs and we're going to graph them. Now recall that we have an X value and a Y value. So the cost of the planes was our X, cost of boats was our Y value. So the X values are represented here on our X axis. And our Y values are represented on the Y axis. So we are going to plot these ordered pairs that we have. So here's our next one was 2 and 4. So here we have the cost of planes. We always find our X value first. So here we have the our X value was 2, and then our cost of boats was 4. So our point goes right here. So that's that one. The next one is 4 and 8. So we have the cost of planes 4. So I go along my X axis to find 4, and then I go up to find cost of boats 8. And I'm going to plot my point right there. So the next one is 6 and 12. So I'm going to go 6. Here, cost of planes go up. Plot a point at 6 and 12. Next one is 8 and 16. So I'm going to find 8 along the x-axis. Here's 8. And then I'm going to go up. Now, remember, don't plot your point here. If I plotted it here, that's a misconception. So that would actually be 8, and then for the Y value, it'd be 0. And that doesn't make any sense in this context. So just know that when you find your X value, you also have to find the Y. So 8 and then 16. So this right here, these plotted points, these ordered pairs, they represent the cost of the planes and the cost of the boats. Okay, let's look at some other practice problems. So you will be given probably, some points, X values and Y values, and you will have to plot them just like we did in that problem before. So here we have 1 and 4. Our X value is 1. Remember, it's along the X axis. So here is 1. And then my Y value is 4. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to find 4 on the X. Let me just label these x-axis and then, y-axis and then the x-axis here. So I found 1 and 4. And I'm going to label that as point M. Now the next one is 5 and 2. So 5 is my X value. So here is 5. And then my Y value is 2. So I'm going to find the 2. Here is the point. And I'm going to label that N. Now you may also be given some points and you have to find the ordered pair that match the point. So let's find point A right here. Point A, remember I'm going to find my X value first. So the X value is 1. Now, this doesn't go anywhere. It stays here on the X axis. So if the Y value must be 0. It means I didn't go up anywhere. I didn't go to any of these other Y values. So it's 1 and 0. Now let's find, let me just erase this little part right here. Let's find B. Okay, so B is right here. So I need to find the X value. So here's the X value. It's 0. I didn't go anywhere. I stayed right here at the origin and I didn't go anywhere. So, but I do have a Y value. The Y value would be 1. So that's 0 and 1. So now you can kind of see what these points would look like if I have a 0 as one of my ordered pairs. So this is when it is 0 and 1, and then B is when it is, B is 0 and 1, and then point A would be where it's 1 and 0. Now let's find C. So point C right here, this would be, my X value would be 1, my Y value would be 1. And let's find D. D would be 2 is my X value and 3 is my Y value. So my ordered pairs here, this would look like 2 and 3, the parentheses around it. This one would be 0 and 1. And this one would be 1 and 0. And then the green, which represented C, is 1 and 1. So that is how I would write them with those parentheses around them. That is the end of today's math strategy video.